চেক চেক। হ্যালো হ্যালো। ঠিক আছে। ওকে। চেক। হ্যালো হ্যালো হ্যালো। হ্যাঁ টেস্ট 1 2 3 4। হ্যালো হ্যালো। কি আছে যে ফেস ফেস করে? হ্যাঁ ফেস ফেস করে। 1 2 3। হ্যালো 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 হ্যালো। চেক 1 2 3 4। হ্যালো হ্যালো। হ্যালো চেক চেক। হ্যালো হ্যালো হ্যালো। চেক 1 2 3 4। পাবেল ভাই ঠিক আছে এখন? পাবেল ভাই কই? হ্যালো। ওকে কমাবো এই যে 1 2 3 4। হ্যালো হ্যালো। কিন্তু এই লেভেলে অডিও আসবে না ওদের কাছ থেকে, ওরা তো কথা বলবে এখান থেকে, তখন তো সাউন্ডই পাবেন না। পান সাউন্ড এখন? ঠিক আছে সমস্যা নেই, আমি তো লাউড নিয়ে কথা বলি। ওকে ঠিক আছে। এমনি ফাড়ে সাউন্ড কি ফাড়ে? সাউন্ড ফাড়ে? হ্যাঁ পাঠাই দিছি। সাউন্ড লাউড ফাড়ে এখন? হ্যাঁ ও পিক করলে আমি কমাই দিই, দেখেন ফাড়ে। হ্যাঁ ঠিক আছে এখন। ওকে।
ওই জায়গাতে জায়গা লাইট লাগে লাইট দেন না
চেক 1 2 3 4 5 হ্যালো হ্যালো ঠিক আছে এখন হ্যাঁ পিক করে পিক করে দেখেন তো পিক করে এখন হ্যাঁ এখনো পিক করে আচ্ছা একটু দাঁড়ান হ্যালো 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 পিক করে চেক 1 2 হুম হুম দিস
হ্যালো, হ্যালো চেক, হ্যালো মাইক্রোফোন টেস্টিং, হ্যালো 1 2 3 3 ওই তো ওইখানে হ্যালো এবার কি ফাটে হ্যালো হ্যালো এবার কি ফাটতেছে না ঠিক আছে ওকে আছে ওকে তোমার ভয়েসের সমস্যা আছে
কামে এত ফেরা এ এই জায়গায় দুইজন বসলে এইখানে একটা টেবিল এই জায়গাটা খালি ক্লোজ দিতে
আমি যেভাবে ইনস্ট্রাকশন দেই 5টা থেকে শুরু করতে 5টা প্লাস মাইনাস 10 এটা স্পট যখন এখানে অন করব তখন করলে ভালো হবে
আচ্ছা তাই তাহলে ঠিক আছে তাহলে অন করে রাখেন অন করে এখান থেকে মিউট করে দেন করলে চার্জ শেষ হবে না তো
না পুরাতন ব্যাটারি
ওই জায়গা থেকে জানালে অন থাকুক
হুম
এই জায়গা থেকে অন থাকুক ওই জায়গা থেকে অফ থাকুক ওই জায়গা থেকে
না না ওনারা অফ করে অন করে না এখানেই অফ করব ওখানেই অন থাকবে ঠিক আছে তুমি যেটা বলছো তোমার ব্যাটারির ক্ষেত্রে বলছো আর আমি বলছি আমার কন্টেন্টের কথাটা আমি তোমাকে বলে রেখেছি
অন করে জানা যাচ্ছে বন্ধুরা ফোন মনে করেন আমি যদি আমাদের কথা কইল কেমনি কইয়া থাকি বুঝতে পারবেন হ্যালো হ্যালো করতে তো হ্যাঁ 17 বার এটা বার ঠিক আছে
17 বার না 16 বার
17 বার 16 বার 16 বার ফোন গাইব
তিনটে কনফার্ম এইটা
বললে কি আমি দেখলাম আমি দিয়েছিলাম এন কথা বললে অন্তরে করতে জানবো না ও আমি বেশি কনে আপনাকে গান নাই তো হাসিম ভাই চেঞ্জ করে হোক
নাম কি তার
ক্যামেরা অন করা আছে
মুশফিক যে মায়ানমারে যে 12টা বাজে ছেড়ে দিছে কানাডা মজা মজা করাই নাই
সব দিয়ে
কি
দিচ্ছে
মায়ানমারে 12টা বাহ
সব কিছু সব কিছু
না রে দেন গানও দেবো
এই কোনটা পক্ষে দিবে না এই স্পেস
কোন দিকে কি ঢোকে কিছু পাওয়া যায় বা এটা বাদ থাকলে কি আর
আচ্ছা এটার উদ্দেশ্য তো যে এই আপনি এখানে বসেন বিজনেস সামিট এই বিজনেস সামিটের
ওই সামনে থাকবো আর সামনে দিবেন
অর্গানাইজেশনটা বুঝছেন
হ্যাঁ
ট্রেড সিম্পলিফিকেশন
কি এক্সপ্লোরার
আপনার কি বাজনা বেশ
কাইলে কি জায়গায় হইব নাকি
ই ট্রেড
কালকে কই
ইজ এ পেপারলেস ট্রেড
কালকে কই যাবো
লট অফ চ্যালেঞ্জ
যায় না বেটা প্যারা প্যারা নিলেই প্যারা না নিলে কিছু না ওরা যা যা করে আমরা কোনো প্যারা নিবি না আমরা আমাদের মতো
ইউএস ইউএন একটা রিকমেন্ডেশন প্রতি বছর রিসার্চ করে কিছু স্ট্যান্ডার্ড তৈরি করে কিছু রিকমেন্ডেশন
হ্যাঁ
ওই রেকমেন্ডেশনগুলি ইমপ্লিমেন্ট করার দায়িত্ব হচ্ছে ইউএন মাদার অর্গানাইজেশন ইউএন এফেক্টেড এশিয়ার পার্টটা হচ্ছে এশিয়া প্যাসিফিক কাউন্সিল এই এফেক্টের এশিয়ার পার্টটা প্রমোট ইউএন এফেক্ট হচ্ছে এই অর্গানাইজেশনের পার্টনার
কি হিসেবে
এই অর্গানাইজেশনটা বছরে মিটিং করে নতুন বছর একটা মিডটার্ম প্ল্যানের আগে এটার অনেকগুলি ওয়ার্কিং গ্রুপ অ্যান্ড স্টিয়ারিং কমিটি আছে এই ধরেন ট্রাভেল অ্যান্ড ট্যুরিজম বা ই ট্যাক্সেশন ই টাইপের যতগুলি জিনিস আছে এয়ার এডুকেশন
এসিতে ঠান্ডা লাগে না ভাই
এই হচ্ছে
ঠান্ডা লাগতেছে
এই বেসিক জিনিসটার ভিতরে মোস্টলি এই অর্গানাইজেশনটা এক্সপার্টস
লাইট পিছনে
পিছনে লাইট
আমি
এক্সপার্ট যারা মেজর এন্টারটেইন করে
ইউলো দিয়েছি একটু সাদা লাইট দিয়েছি
সবই সাদা ওই সাদাই চলবে
যেটা যেটা ফ্লোটাকে সাপোর্ট এই হচ্ছে এই অর্গানাইজেশনের মূল কাজ এই বছর আমরা ছিলাম 2008 to conduct this hosting this event summit এদেশে এই সামিট নামটা এদেশে নিউ it is the summit that created by us as a host we have that freedom to make that event gorgeous whatever we like আমি পাবলিক প্রাইভেট ইন্টিগ্রেশন করে কাজটা করার
Hello, check. Shubhachak, can you send me the PPT?
No, no, no. For this one, you can make it for skin. Just paste Control L, Control L. But,
It's not coming right. But you are Shubhachak, right?
no, he is my boss. So you take this. First, we can make it full skin by. Okay, and then Control L, or you can go to View. View and full skin, or just Control L.
Then
Kick. So it's not.
you just
Okay, just
do this. Control L.
Control L.
আসছে পবিত্র রমজান মাস, রমজানুল মুবারক ক্ষমার মাস, আল্লাহকে পাওয়ার মাস, আল্লাহর দয়ায় ধন্য হওয়ার মাস। আসুন আমার সঙ্গে আল্লাহকে পাওয়ার চেষ্টায়, বরকত লাভের জন্য আলোর পথে বাংলা নিউজের সঙ্গে। আসছে পবিত্র রমজান মাস, রমজানুল মুবারক ক্ষমার মাস, আল্লাহকে পাওয়ার মাস, আল্লাহর দয়ায় ধন্য হওয়ার মাস। আসুন আমার সঙ্গে আল্লাহকে পাওয়ার চেষ্টায়, বরকত লাভের জন্য আলোর পথে বাংলা নিউজের সঙ্গে।
See.
যেহেতু এটা সেমিনার কাইন্ড অফ থিংস, তো এইটা যাওয়ার পরে এখানে আপনি যাকে ইনফরমেট পাবেন তাদের যে হ্যাঁ এইটা শেষ হয়ে গেল। আমি ওয়েলকাম দেওয়ার পরে এই প্রেজেন্টেশনটা শেষ হলো। শোনার পরে গেস্টকে লাস্টে মাঝখানে যে কটাতে পারেন আপনি যে এই ব্যাপারে আমি কিছু কথা বলার, হ্যাঁ চারটা টপিকটি শোনার পরে এই পুরো ইভেন্টটা নিয়ে বিরাট কথা তার মধ্যে now paper presents a digital on digital trade and ওটা আমার বুদ্ধি করে হ্যাঁ I invite Mr. Dr. Ivan for presentation এনভায়রনমেন্টও রাখতে হবে সেমিনারে
On থাকবে গো।
তালিম দিতে বলে ওরা বলে তোমরা কোন টেনশন নিও না ফাইলটা ওরা তো বাচ্চাদের ওরা মনেই কেমন এগুলার ভালো আমার সাথে কি দেখছো আমার সাথে কি দেখছো দুইটা মারলেই একটা বছর সব করে আসে সব করে আমি চিন্তা করতেছি জানো ওর কেমন পরের বার কারে আমি রবির তোমার বাপ তোর আজকে বললো নেক্সট ডে মনে হয় কারে আমি
চেঞ্জ হয়ে গেছে না
একদিন
এটাই।
করছে আর
এটাই তো দিয়ে দিচ্ছি আমি এটাই তো দিয়ে দিচ্ছি এটা তো আমি চিফ গেস্ট দিয়ে দিচ্ছি
ইনস্ট্রাকশন নেই।
একটা পেন দিচ্ছি আপনাকে শুরুটা
লাইটের সেটা
আমারে জিজ্ঞেস করে
লাইটার উপরে আমার যে রাগ হচ্ছে
পরে জানি কেরা আমি দেখবেন তুমি তাতে পিছিয়ে যাও আমার তাতে পিছিয়ে পেয়েছেন তাড়াতাড়ি আমি আইতে তাড়াতাড়ি করতে যাই অপনা করে আই বসে
ইভেন্টে আমার ইভেন্টে কখনো এরকম ডিসিশন নিবে না হুট করে আমার না জিগায়
আমি মনে করছি আপনি কইছি
আমি কইলে ওরা বহুত আগে আমি এখানে আসতাম
কালকে রাত্রে এনে বয়ে রাখলাম তো আজকে তাই তো সকালে তাই দেখুন তো চলে আসো সব দিয়ে দেন হ্যাঁ আচ্ছা রাখ
হ্যালো।
Need to one control the slide. The slide, right? The podium. So the speaker control the slide themselves on the podium. Do you have a pointer? Do you know?
ওইটা যে এটা লাগাই নাটু আর একবার ওখানে কম একটা বার দুটা বার লিফটা নিয়ে দেয় একটা বার কম বেশি দেয় না এটা কম দেয়
সমস্যা না।
এটা কমে দেয় আমার ছেলের সমস্যা
আমি একটা ফরেনার প্রোগ্রাম দেখছি। দুইটা লিপের লাইনে বান্ধব কি হলো তখন তো তখন বলতাম যে বান্ধব না করবে কি আমরা দুইটা লেভেল কি জন্য লাগাই সাউন্ড লাউড করার জন্য কারণ আর কি করে একটা নিয়ে কত কারেক্ট খেলে থুই দেয় একদিকে সাউন্ড লাউড আমরা করতে পারি।
পরে বিক্রি উপরে লাগে সেলে ভালো দাও না আমি কোথায় দিতে না দিতে না দিতে শাক সবজি না হলে না হলে
মায়ের আজকে
হ্যাঁ
মাছ ছিল আজকে ইনশাআল্লাহ।
ইন্টারন্যাশনাল ইভেন্ট, এটা কি ইন্টারন্যাশনাল? হ্যাঁ, এই ইভেন্টটা কিন্তু ইন্টারন্যাশনাল ইভেন্ট। দেখতে মনে হচ্ছে ছোট। অ্যাফেক্টটা ওয়ার্ল্ড ওয়াইড ইন্টারন্যাশনাল ইভেন্ট। তার মানে আমার টেনশনটা বুঝতেছো কোন লেভেলের আছে। তোমাদেরকে নিয়ে আমি একদম বড় বড় শর্ট রিস্ক নিচ্ছি, মানে দেখতেছি এমন তেমন হলে আমার এমবি তো আমার এইভাবে মাস দিয়ে দিবে।
distinguished Afact Steering Committee members, honorable foreign delegates, government high officials, business leaders, participants, journalists, we welcome you to e-business summit of an Afact 2018 and e-business readiness seminar. May I request you to give a big round of applause to have a stimulus and have the energy in this session. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Afact is the Asia Pacific Council for Trade Facilitation and Electronic Business. It's a non-profit, non-governmental organization that is open to participation from the representative of members countries and experts from private sectors within the Asia Pacific region. Afact aims to promote the commitment and development of trade facilitation, electronic business, policies and activities in the Asia Pacific region, mainly focusing on those promoted by UN CFACs, I mean United Nations CFACs, to guide, stimulate, improve, and promote the ability of business, trade, and administrative organization from members, as well as to exchange products and relevant services effectively within Afact community. In this seminar, we would like to present some important topics presented by experts from Japan, Taiwan, Thailand, and by these we hope we shall be able to learn and update ourselves about digital trade, digital identity initiative, UN CFAC standards, through UN CFAC standards for trade facilitation and e-business, national single window system in Japan. Ladies and gentlemen, now to start with this today's seminar, I would like to invite Mr. Ali Ashfaq for Afact Chair for his welcome speech. Mr. Ali Ashfaq.
Thank you. Good evening and Assalamu alaikum. VVIPs, high officials, business leaders, speakers, and other distinguished guests and media people. I welcome you all in this summit. I think we'll learn in details in the summit with 4 keynote paper presentation. We'd like to learn more about it. I think it's a very good things we'll know from here with the presentations. Very renowned speakers here to present those topics with the current situation on electronic business and trade facilitation issues in the world. Now, I'd like to say something about the background of the Afact and the event issues. In this special occasion, we got the support from Ministry of Commerce and Telecommunication Ministry and some private organizations in the board to make this event successful. I'd like to thank to these supporters before I start the other things. Afact, previously named Asia EDIFACT Board, was established in 1990, 28 years ago. It is a non-profit organization. It is open to participation from representatives of member countries and economies and experts from private sectors within the Asia-Pacific region. There are 20 member countries and economies represented by respective focal points. such as Bangladesh Computer Samiti, as well as liaison member of UNESCAP and one associate member of Pan-Asia E-Commerce Alliance. Afact is closely liaison with United Nations Center for Trade Facilitation and Electronic Business, UNCFACT, with 2 seats of Afact Steering Committee represented by UNCFACT Vice Chair and Rapporteur of Asia Pacific. Afact aims to support policies and activities those promoted by UNCFACT. Afact focus is to facilitate international transactions through simplification and harmonization of international trade procedures and information flow, which is also essence of paperless trade and trade facilitations. It is also continually develops standards, provides recommendations to be adopted by both public and private sectors for cross-border data exchange in trade and electronic commerce. Bangladesh announced its National ICT Day on 12 December 2017, which is marked a historical moment that the whole country is striding for a digital economy in the digital era. Digital trade cannot be realized without implementing the information and communication technologies and the digital technologies. It is not possible to obtain efficient and seamless trade procedure and data interchange without simplification and harmonization in advanced business process across departmental agencies for G2G, G2B services. Therefore, the program works undertaken in UNCFACT and then promoted at Afact are the importance of member countries such as Bangladesh, who are in the beginning stage of planning and implementing the national single window and promoting trade facilitation. Actually, Bangladesh will obtain the most benefit out of adopting UNCFACT standards and recommendations when planning all national ICT and digital related initiatives. The e-business summit and Afact 2018 is composed of Afact steering committee meetings, plenary meetings, working group meetings, as well as half-day e-business readiness conference. Hopefully, the first of this kind event could be of use to the government departments and agencies concerned and informative to the participants from the private sectors. For those speakers and participants from abroad, I wish your pleasant stay at Dhaka and enjoy the rest of the time during the meetings. Thank you.
Thank you, Ashfaq Bhai, for your welcome speech. Now, we would like to start the session. We'd like to hear from the expert panels. At first, from Dr. Eva, Afact ST's member, CS chair from Taiwan, and her topic will be digital trade and the issues involved. May I request Dr. Eva? Thank you, sir.
Okay. Governmental agencies and departments, members of AFAC, and the distinguished guests, members of Bangladesh Computer Summit, and ladies and gentlemen, good evening. It is really my pleasure to be here because this is my second time I was invited by Ali last year for the ICT Expo 2017. And I found that when I went back to Taiwan, I told my boss, Dr. Gary Gong, Bangladesh people is young and also very energetic, very bright. So full of opportunity. It's just it's beginning to get trained in order to get all the benefits of digital economy. So this is very good that I come here once again for the Afact meeting in Dhaka. As Ali just mentioned that the reason BDS makes so much effort in organizing this event in Bangladesh. This is the first of the kind in Bangladesh, promoting the use of ICT-related standard for trade facilitation and e-business. Very important, but very difficult agenda. Even in Taiwan, not many people really appreciate the importance of standardization, harmonization, and simplification, because we also find very difficult phenomenon, very difficult problems with silo data, silo process, silo systems between and amongst governmental agencies. That makes much obstacle for cross-departmental agencies communication, not to mention B2G, not to mention nation to nation. Very, very difficult. So although it is important, but seldomly people realize the value of the standard. So that is why Ali wanted to make this effort. Without much support, without much budget, still BDS wanted to make this happen. So this is really appreciated by all of our participated members from Afact. Today's topic, I'd like to share with you, what is that? Oh, here. Yeah. I wanted to share with you what the e-business, what the e-trade, what the digital trade. Actually, personally, I have to confess that this is the subject I'm not very familiar with, because the subject is so new. It is still evolving. Not many people really fully appreciate, fully understand what it really covers, because the issues are so many and so complicated. So that is why so many different international agencies, organizations such as WTO, such as APEC, such as UNCTAD, such as OECD, they all try to focus on how to comply, how to collaborate with each other across borders, in order to make the e-trade really realized and can get benefit to all people concerned. So this is why I call it initial exploration on e-trade. And because Sugata-san is one of our pioneers in Afact community, he assigned me as a committee chair of Community Support Committee. Eva, you need to study further how digital product can be exchanged across border. That is very difficult, because we all know that in e-commerce, we tend to exchange, right? We tend to trade physical products across the border to declare or to clearance the customs in order to get import and export merchandise to the consumers. But for digital product, it's so intangible, so very hard to control, very hard to grasp what the digital product really is and how to make use of that, as well as how to make taxation on this digital product. Very difficult subject. So personally, I'm still very new and would like to share with you the very initial studied outcomes. That is only I can say. Yeah. So first of all, I'd like to say that talking about e-trade, we need to understand what the internet value chain composed of. For example, we all know that the service delivered through internet over the ICT platform, there are so many aspects included. So the stakeholders involved in the whole value chain are very diverse, very complicated. The contents is the king, right? So not only the media right owners created those contents through video, audio, books, gaming, even adult contents or editorial contents. Consumers also produce their own contents. So the buzzword nowadays is prosumer, because we using lines, using WhatsApp, WeChat, we produce our own contents, but we also enjoy the contents shared by our peers, by our relatives. So we are all prosumer. So these contents are huge. The so-called social economy is derived from the social networking. Very, very important sector of e-trade. And then the online related services, including communication, general or vertical contents, search engine, like Google or ask.com or Baidu, or entertainment related services and transactions for e-commerce. These are the second part of aspects in the internet value chain. And then, of course, we need to have enabling technology service provisioning in order to have these online services and contents to be delivered throughout the world, across the borders, including support technologies such as web hosting, design, development, content management, of course, billing and payment, and advertising for mobile marketing, etc. And then connectivity, that is the basic infrastructure of ICT for web-based internet, web-based service and product exchange, like core network, interchange, or retail internet access. And then the user interface. We all use the mobile, right? So mobile app is one of the interface for user and service providers, using app to enable the users very easily access all the contents or services. So the devices, of course, through the IoT sensor network and various kinds of devices, contents and the services can be delivered and the users. So this whole spectrum makes up the internet value chain. So what is e-trade? E-trade is a buzzword, but it is also very vague. Lots of different definitions, but I try to subtract some materials from various resources and come to this definition. It's the state of web-based cross-border e-commerce. Because usually when we say e-trade, we normally say cross-border e-trade, not the domestic trading electronically. So, so it is basically cross-border economic activities using IT technologies to exchange information, physical or digital products and services. One of the core phenomenon of digital era is the e-trade. And e-commerce is the mainstream and most widely practiced economic activities. So e-trade has several issues, very difficult to negotiate across borders between nation and nation, including IPR, data or privacy protection, taxation, security, etc. So when we look into the WTO, APEC, or UNCTAD, or different international organizations, these are the issues negotiated, but very difficult, of course. So the digital service, if Sukumata-san wanted me to study the digital product meaning digital service. So just a list several of the kind digital services, including apps, online active advertising, or back-end office processing, or 3D printing, additive manufacturing, big data analytics, sensor-enabled applications, e-government-related services, online financial services, or even payment monitoring systems, augmented realities. All of them are just some of the e-services. So you can imagine how difficult it is if we want to negotiate a cross-border from nation to nation, the exchange of digital services. So diverse, so intangible, so abstract, so hard to control. The scope, the end-to-end service life cycle, very hard. So you can imagine how complicated the subject is. Challenges. We all know that data is the king, content is the king. We all know the buzzwords of big data analytics. But what does data mean? What can data generate benefits to people instead of only creating problems of security? So for governments, if they can really handle the data from the public, then they know the real needs from their citizens. If the company can really grasp the data from their consumers, they know their behavior. So they can predict their preferences and provide them with needed services or products. So data has two sides, either beneficial or very dangerous. So how can you handle data? It's crucial issue. And then in digital economy, the competition principle changes. Before, only big companies can get more resources. But nowadays, using ICT or using platform, even small, medium-sized enterprises or micro business or even self-employed freelancer, they can make their own living out of the internet. So the whole competition principle changes. And knowledge-intensive flows, including financial or legal service consulting, can be delivered through all the internet. FinTech, financial flow, or Internet of Things, sharing economy, 3D printing. Before I drafted this presentation, I didn't really realize how dangerous it is in the future if the technology cannot be used correctly. People nowadays can use printing, 3D printing, to print weapons. Can you imagine? Huh? People can use 3D printing machine to print organs of people. So with these challenges, how can government develop suitable, appropriate regulations or rules to handle this kind of potential dangers for people? So these are all challenges in this subject. So the premise, if we really want to promote digital trade, what is the premises? The free flow of data. Originally, when we, in III, Institute for Information Industry in Taiwan, when we intended to promote cloud service, we tend to promote the benefit of cloud service, including on-demand services, including cross-border, because every even small, medium-sized software as a service provider can provide remote services from Bangladesh to Russia, right? But government want to control citizens' data. So they prevent their local data being stored overseas. With this regulation, it has been, the data has been stopped to a certain extent. Cannot be the flow, a real free data flow. But if we want to develop the e-trade, the premise should be the free flow of data and information. Of course, there's always a balance. We cannot let our citizen or local data completely stored or owned by foreign players. But we cannot impose strict regulation for preventing data flow either. So how to get it balanced? Very crucial and difficult subject for officials. No discrimination or national treatment or transparency. Cross-recognition or common ground between states on privacy and data protection laws. Open transparency, the internet governance reinforced and consensus achieved, and trust to be ensured between B2C and B2B. These are all premises if we really want to promote e-trade. So the rules seems like that. Data protection, data localization, domain names, IP rights, consumer protection, on the top, internet services. These are all the resources the sovereignty government want to control. But how to release part of the rights to their foreign counterparts is the matter of negotiation in WTO or some other international organizations. WTO's perspective, because of the time constraint, I'm not going to go into details. You can refer your handouts. But you know that some subjects have been highlighted through all these years. Since 10 years ago, in WTO, they discussed, they put this agenda on the top. For example, the supervising mechanism, the market openness, e-commerce development in each local countries, and how to maintain transparency. These are the subjects to be discussed in WTO. USA, because most giants in this field, for example, Google, Amazon, eBay, whatever, they are all from US. So the United States government, they are the most advocated, right, to try to maintain free flow data and information. They want to maintain their technology. So all these assertions made by the USA government are all the protections for them, for their benefits. But how does the country such as Bangladesh, Japan, Korea, or Taiwan, we also want to protect our own benefit, our people's benefits. So how to get balance? Not only use the benefits of the internet through these giant service providers, but also we can get our e-business or trade developed locally. So these are the subjects. And APEC. In APEC, I want to highlight the CBPR, Cross-Border Privacy Enforcement Agreement. That is similar to EU's GDPR, General Data Privacy Regulation. So you can see that either in EU or in APEC region, the officials or the experts concerned, they the most concerned issue is the protection of digital product, privacy and the personal data, including business knowledge and business assets. UNCTAD has similar issues also. And for the last but not least, I'd like to share some of our experiences in Taiwan. You can see that initiated from 2021, National Information Communication Initiative, NICI, was formed, was initiated in that year, almost 17 years ago. And then through 2002 and 2016, in almost 15 years, the National Information Communication Development Scheme was gradually developed and practices implemented, deployed step by step, stage by stage. So not only frequency spectral management or IT service public procurement, these are very basic applications or rules to be implemented very 10 to 15 years ago. Nowadays, we also have this digital convergence or e-government or internet connectivity or this kind of national initiative to be implemented or have been already completed all these work projects. And through last year until 2020, we have so-called Digi Plus initiative, including the development, innovation, governance, inclusion, and upgrade. All has to do with the digital economy, not only for government, for digital government, as well as for digital economy development. But the issue we are facing are still how to protect privacy, how to protect the data, and how to develop appropriate law or a regulation to support business development as well as people benefits protection. This dilemma is always the issue to be debated in the government sector as well as the private sector. So hopefully this subject, as I said, that it's very initial exploration study. So together with our experts from Bangladesh and Afact community, we would like continually explore this subject. In the maybe at least 3 to 4 years. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Dr. Eva, for your informative and crispy presentations. And Dr. Eva, I would like to thanks again because it's your second visit in Bangladesh and especially in Dhaka. Hopefully you are enjoying the traffic, but thanks again. You have got the huge confidence on particularly the young population who are talented. Give her a big round of applause. And to tell you the fact that Bangladesh has fairly a very young population. 34% aged 15 or below, and 5% only 65 and above. And for myself, I fall young in between. But still, I would like to think myself young. Do you agree? Thank you so much. Now, we would like to hear on the topic of Thailand Digital Identity Initiative for Trade Facilitation. And for that, may I request Mr. Supachok, Afact STS member, BDC chair from Thailand. Mr. Supachok, we welcome you to the stage. Thank you so much.
Hello, good afternoon. My name is Supachok Chantrapatin from Thailand. I am a director of the Standard Office under Electronic Transaction Development Agency and also a BDC chair. And thank you for inviting me to share Thailand experience on the very important infrastructure that need to be there for the trade facilitation. Today I'm going to talk about the Thailand National Digital ID. So actually, so when we talking about the trade facilitation, everyone rush to have electronic service on the website, and suddenly many people and business have a lot of identity in your pocket. When you going to contact the government or would like to have a service, you need to show your ID and you have to remember a lot of username and password. So actually, this is one of the things that Thailand faced with the problem. So the government try to have infrastructure to facilitate the business and the people to have electronic service with a single ID or a share ID with each other. So actually, from from the beginning, we always know that we got a citizen card, right? Like this. So we got a chip card on this, and this card is allow the government to process the transaction without the paper. So you go there and you swipe the card or you insert the card, then they can process your transaction electronically. But actually, you still have to go there to have a service. But what we think about is we need something like a digital ID that you can do the business transaction or use the government service online. And Thailand doesn't have that for the whole international scale. Everyone have their own username password. When you go to one bank, you got one username password. When you want to open account another bank, you got another password. And then you end up with about 20 password, 20 username, and you couldn't remember it. Exactly the same when you go to the government service online, they will give you a username password. And if you want to use 20 government service, you already got 20 username and password. So it's very difficult to manage. That's why government want to build a very important infrastructure. And this infrastructure contain with 4 important elements. The first one is the digital ID. So actually we need a digital ID or the identity credential that you can use it to process the transaction online. Normally from this card, maybe it's become a mobile phone that you can use to do the transaction online through the mobile application. So this is one of digital ID. And the second is the digital authentication service. You need a service, a main platform that every business can share and use this platform for the authentication. And the third one, you need identity service provider. It means that you need to build an ecosystem that allow the business to become identity provider. What is identity provider? It's the business that enroll you and issue you a identity credential, such as a card or username password or a mobile token. So this is called identity service provider. And the last one, when you want to enroll your customer into the system, you need to validate their credential, and you also need to verify their information, whether that person is the real or not. So actually, you need to access into the government personal information to check whether this person is the real one or not. Or even you have to need to access to the another business sector to see whether they have enough credit for opening some kind of service or not. So this kind of infrastructure need to be there to create the whole ecosystem for digital ID. So this is the overview of the architecture. We got three entities to play. The first one we call authoritative source. Normally, this kind of services belong to the government, like a citizen registry. So if you want to check whether these people is Thai people or not, you need to access this kind of information and to make sure that you are Thai people, then you can get the service. So this kind of authoritative source, also not only the person, is also the business legal entity as well. When you want to do the business and the business want to contact the government, you need to be confirmed by business registry office to make sure that your business actually valid to conduct the service. Oh, sorry. And the second is called identity provider. The one that I have talked before, that they are the person that they are the entity that provide the authentication service. So every time customer want to get the service online, they will be sent to the IDP or identity service provider to authenticate, and then the IDP will send the result back to the service provider whether this person is the real or not. I will show you in the next slide. And the last entity is called relying party. That means the online service that actually rely on IDP service. They have to work together to enroll the customer into the system. So this is the ecosystem in the digital ID. Yeah. Next, this slide explain how it works. When you want to use the service, maybe this one can be government service online, and we call them is relying party because they need to rely on the result of the authentication service here. So when the user want to access to use the online service, this relying party will send the request to the platform, and the platform will inform the IDP, and IDP will send will contact the customer online or through the mobile phone and ask them to verify even with the username password or with the other token. And then when the IDP authenticate the user, they will actually, in the process of authentication, the IDP may check and validate the information of the user from authoritative source, whether this person is real or not. If it's real, then the authoritative source will send the result back to IDP, and the platform will inform the relying party that the user is real. Then the relying party will allow the user to use the service. This is called the whole ecosystem of digital ID. In this process, we have three important processes. The first one is called enrollment and identity proofing. This is the process that the identity provider needs to validate the user, whether he is real or not, or he has a right to claim that his identity is real. So in this process, the IDP need to do the process called identity proving with the authoritative source to check and verify the user. And then they issue the user with the credential, like username, password. The second one is called authentication. The second process is the process that the user want to use the service online, then that relying party will send the user to authenticate with the IDP. And the IDP will send the result back to the relying party, and the relying party got the result, allow the user to use the service. This is called the authentication process. And the last one is we call authorization. This is the process that the user need to give a relying party or identity provider a consent to access their personal information for the identity proving process. I will show you the detail of each process. This is the first one called enrollment and identity proving process. The first user enroll to the IDP, And then IDP have to check, ask for the evidence from the user that who you are and who you want to claim to be. And then once the IDP got the evidence, IDP need to check and validate the evidence with the authoritative source. Once the IDP got the result, IDP will issue the authenticator. We call it authenticator because this is the thing that the user need to have, or it's something you are, something you have, and something you know. Maybe it's maybe username password. It's something you know. It can be the authenticator, and user use this authenticator to claim that who they are. So this is called the enrollment process. And the second one, we call it authentication. The authentication happens when the user wants to use the service of relying party. Relying party redirect the user to IDP, and the IDP will conduct the authentication process with the user. Once IDP got check the authenticator is correct or not. If it's correct, the IDP send the assertion or the result of authentication to RP. And then the user can allow to use the RP service. This is called authentication process. Oops, sorry. When you're talking about authentication, there are so many services, and each service have different kind of risks. If you want to do the payment, of course, the bank will check you very detailed who you are. But if you want to have just like to see the information on the website, they just ask you for an email, and then you can get the username password already. So each service in the trade facilitation have different, we call assurance level. Assurance level have two kind of assurance level. The first one we call identity assurance level, or the IAL. This is the security level that you need to prove to user that who you are. And the second one we call the authenticator assurance level. It's the level that you use to identify how secure of your authenticator. I will show you in the next slide. This is the IAL. This is the level of the way that you prove the user, you identify the user. IAL 1 is some kind of like the user just self-assert, I mean claim who they are, and then just give you the information, and then you just accept them into the system. This is like when you apply for the free email on the internet, like a Hotmail or whatever. Yeah, just like a very easy one. And the second one, you need a piece of evidence, and that evidence have to be verified by the authoritative source somehow. Yeah, and the third one, which is the highest level, you need at least 2 pieces of evidence, and you need the evidence validation, and you need the person to present to you. I mean, they have to present to you either face-to-face or remotely face-to-face. This is the highest level that you can prove who they are. Another kind of assurance level is authenticator assurance level. This is how the authenticator can be used in each level. For the basic one, you just use the password, memorize password. It's okay. Or OTP device or out-of-band device, one of them, it can be a level 1. But for the second level, you need at least 2-factor authentication. Normally, when you go to the website, when you enter your password, they may ask you to put in the SMS, the number, the OTP, And then this is two-factor. So it's make sure that you are that person. And the highest level of the AAL is you need the crypto device, which is normally, it can store the private key or public key in the USB dongle, or it can be something that is a combination of different factor device. Before you want to use the service, you need to use all the device to authenticate with the IDP. For example, I think crypto device is something like you have like a e-passport. The passport contains with your biometric data and also your private key in here. So when you go there and you have to use them for the authentication, this is kind of the highest of the authenticator actual level. So this is an example. Actually, there are so many standards out there for you to have a look and study for the identity, digital identity. I think the latest one is come from NIST, NIST. This is the latest one. And also the ISO is the ISO IECTS 29003. It's just coming out, I think, last 2 months. They're talking about the identity proving technique. So I think these 3 standards is the latest for digital identity that you need to study more when you want to build the digital ID platform. I will show you the use case in Thailand when applying with the digital ID. This is the tax report. Once a year, we have to submit our tax report to the revenue department, whether we pay the tax enough or not. If we pay too much, the government will refund the money to you. If we pay less than what they expect us to pay, then we have to pay more. So this service only do once a year for every person in Thailand. And normally they already forgot their password because they only use once a year. So actually the revenue department gives them a choice. With they can use either the revenue department username password, or they can use the other identity from the IDP. So if the user choose to use different ID to access the revenue department service, they will have a choice to choose whether they can use the ID from the government agency that provide the online username password, or they can use the e-wallet account, or they can use the bank account to access the revenue department service. So this is some kind of like, you can use any ID from different service provider to access the government service, because they have already shared and connect to the platform. Once the user choose the ID, then they will be asked for the username password of EGA, for example. And then the username password from EGA fill in, and then they will ask for the data consent, because EGA need to access the user information. And then it will be confirmed by sending the OTP to the user mobile phone. And the user have to fill in the SMS value into the system. Once they confirm with username, password, and OTP, the user can access and fill in the form. And also some information that, that user have already gave to the government service will be automatically filled in to the form. So you don't need to fill in the form by yourself. It's have already automatic retrieved from the other government agency. Then you just fill in the form that you need to fill here. So this red area is come from different government agency. So this information needs the data consent from the user, because if you don't give the consent, the platform will not cannot access your personal information. So this is the example of using a digital ID platform for the trade facilitation service. So if you have any question, you can send an email to ask me below. Thank you very much for your listening.
Thank you. Thank you, Mr. Supachok, for your nice presentation on digital ID overview. And from Bangladesh, we have got controller of certifying authority. We have been working for the last 10 years for the standardization of digital certifications. And I believe through more interaction, we can learn each other and we can enrich ourselves. Ladies and gentlemen, next year, this e-business summit and Afact summit is going to be held in Thailand in 2019. I'm sure you guys are going to invite us. So there are two representatives from Thailand. Will you please stand up? May I request all of you to give a big round of applause. Next year event summit. And thanks for them. They are so far the largest participation delegates from our foreign delegates. So thank you so much again. Now, our next speaker, Mr. Sugamata-san, and he's from Japan. He's the Afact STC member, TMC chair. And today's topic he's going to present, UN CFAC standards for trade facilitation and e-business. May I invite Mr. Sugamata-san.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you for giving me the chance to introduce the UN CFAC standard. First of all, I'd like to introduce myself. My name is Hisanao Sugamata. Oh, wait a minute. How to treat this? Yeah? No. Close this. Oh.
You introduce yourself. I do
Yeah.
that.
Okay.
Yeah.
My name is Hisanao Sugamata. Working for supply chain information platform study group under the UN CFAC Japan Committee. And I would like to speak using PowerPoint slide. Yeah. Okay. Thank you. And before I introduce the UN CFAC standard, I would like to also introduce the UN SCAP framework agreement on facilitation of cross-border paperless trade in Asia and Pacific. This treaty, already 5 SCAP member states had signed. Bangladesh is one of them. So this treaty is, I think, very important to your business and also the Bangladesh, digital Bangladesh. This treaty's objective is to promote cross-border paperless trade by enabling the exchange and mutual recognition of trade-related data and documents in electronic form and facilitating, especially interoperability among national and sub-regional single windows and or other paperless trade systems. And one more important statement is while improving regulatory compliance. This one includes two interoperabilities for the systems and also the regulatory. So now, what is interoperability? I would like to introduce. First, NSW means National Single Window. National Single Window, of course, several system parts, import, export permit, customs, and port authority, and quarantines. And also, in the domestic area, carriers, forwarders, banks, and shippers connected to network national single window. And also, the national single window will be connected to another country's national single window. Interoperability is needed, all the connections. Back to the UN SCAP framework agreement, Article 9 said international standards for exchange of trade-related data and document in electronic form. This said the party means the member state. So Bangladesh is the party. And the parties shall endeavor to apply international standards and guidelines in order to ensure interoperability in paperless trade and to develop safe, secure, and reliable means of communication for the exchange of data. And also, the parties shall endeavor to become involved in the development of international standards and best practices related to cross-border paperless trade. That's two means. First one is follow the standard, and second one is develop the standard. That's two part using standard means. So now I would like to introduce about the interoperability layer. Interoperability means many layers. Top layer is political layer. This one is laws and regulatories. So different country, each country have different laws and regulatories. But for the trade, international trade, those regulatories should be harmonized. And then organizational layer. This one is business process layer. Of course, cross borders, so each country have each business process. But cross-border trade is harmonized business process. And the third one, this one is basic, very important, most important layer is semantic layer. That means the meaning of data should be understood same way, same way among the traders. And then bottom layer or base layer is technical one. This one is physical connectivity. I would like to explain each layers. First one is political layer. For example, UN CFAC standards have several guidelines for political layers. First one, recommendation 14, authentication of trade documents, and 31, electronic commerce agreement, and recommendation 33, single window recommendation, and 34, data simplification and standardization for international trade, and 35, establishing a legal framework for international trade, single windows. Those recommendations are some guidelines for keep interoperability in political layer. And next one is organizational layer. This one is business process. There are many business process standardized in UN CFAC. This shows few examples. For example, cargo tracking, tracing and tracking, cross-industry invoice, export specification. This one is e-certification. And trans-frontier movement of waste, and fisheries language for universal exchanges. This one is part of the organizational layer UN CFAC developed. And then semantic layer. Semantic layer, UN CFAC using three basic standard, important standard. One is ISO TC154. This one is Trade Data Element Directory. And also UN CFAC Edifact directory. Edifact is the current most widely used in the world. A message, segment, composite data element UN code list. And recently, for the XML world, UN CFAC maintained core component library. This one is semantic library. Currently, around 15,000 semantic component. That means that data are defined. The core component, business information entity, and data types. And the technical layer is, one of them is XML naming and design rules. This one is for the syntax rules. And next one is network connection layer is messaging service, EBXML messaging. And the internet standard, TCP/IP or HTTP or base64. Other than this internet standard, I have introduced all those standards you can find on UN CFAC website. And now, the most important layer, semantic interoperability, I would like to explain. Some example is delivery date. What is delivery date? Usually deliver to the goods. The date of delivery of the goods is a delivery date. The other side is delivery date is the birth date. The same delivery date is completely different meaning. So we called this one is context. This one is left side is a transport context. Right side is usually hospital or medical context. So just delivery date is just a term, but just a term is not enough for exchange semantic. So term with context. Then we define the correct semantic. And those things is also the structure defined in UN CFAC. This one is, first one is language, sentence composed of a phrase. Phrase consists of verse and word. And those are controlled by grammar, ruled by grammar. Same as EDI. So this one, UN Edifact case, message composed segment group and consists with segment and data element. ruled by Afact syntax rule. And then also same XML world, a message composed ASBIE, Associate Business Information Entity, and Aggregate Business Entity, ABIE, and business, Basic Business Information Entity. Those things also ruled by CCTS, Core Component Technical Specification, and Core Component Business Data Assembly and naming design rules. And those business information entity is composed or generated by the general non-context information component, core component. Those BIE, that information component, those are in the CCL, Core Component Library. This Core Component Library of UN CFACT is maintained, published twice a year. Then currently 15,000 elements in the Core Component Library. I would like to skip these things. And those things, how to deploy in your country. This one is Japan case. Left side, your CFAC. And Japan domain area, several domain area. Domain means some manufacturing industry or retailers industry or medical industry or finance industry. They implemented their process and messages based on the course. And several times, we found some requirements from the local area, then submit to the UN CFAC to improve the core component library. So I recommend to set up some mechanism also in Bangladesh. So various domains should have interoperability for trade facilitation, the first one. And all the domains should respect the international standards, means use international UN CFAC standards. And then third is very important. Domain requirements should be respected in the standard environment. That means if you need, you submit your requirement to the standard. That's a key to use standard. Oh, this one is example in Japanese trade facilitation, proof of concept. This case is from left side exporter to the right side importer, to all the information controlled on the same platform. But this concept is now we know the other platform that is blockchain. Finally, I would like to touch upon the new emerging technologies UN CFAC is challenging. First one is blockchain. And now UN CFACT published blockchain white paper on blockchain, how to use blockchain, what is blockchain. And this included white paper including technology interoperability, distributing ledger, a smart contract. And use case using blockchain is trade facilitation, transport and logistics, supply chain management, agriculture, tourism, and finance services. And one more challenge is IoT, Internet of Things. Also, UN CFACT now started to make a white paper on Internet of Things. That white paper will cover the device and edge computing and security for IoT, and use case and trade facilitation, transport and logistics, supply chain management, agriculture, healthcare, and human-related data. That's my presentation. Thank you for patience.
Thank you. We were just hearing from a supply chain specialist regarding the trade facilitation and e-business, which is a very important thing because a lot of initiatives is been taken and taken by the Bangladesh government for this standardization. And how to do this standardization? Thank you, Mr. Hishanao Sugimata, for your in-depth overview, standardization, domain, IoT, and how to do this supply chain seamlessly so that one cross-border trade can be done more efficiently. Thanks a lot. This time, I would like to invite Mr. Kaninori Kedwin. Sorry if I pronounce not correctly. And he's the director, JustPro Japan, and he's going to present on introduction of national single window in Japan. Mr. Kedwin-san.
Hello everyone. My name is Kanenori Kedoin. Very difficult to pronounce for you. Even in Japan, strange name. I came from Tokyo, Japan. I'm glad to visit here as a member of 36 Afact plenary, which was held by Mr. Ali Ashrak's excellent leadership, also Mr. Pavitra Misty devoted effort. I also thank all people here for your warmful hospitality in Dhaka. Before introducing national single window of Nippon, I wish to mention the flag of Japan and Bangladesh. I think which is very similar. Do you think so? Yeah, Japan people, we mainly rice, same as Bangladeshi people. Very good. And come this Wednesday, and every breakfast, lunch, and dinner, I take very tasty dishes of Bangladesh. So I afraid after going back to Tokyo, my wife angry. So what's this? Ah, this one, okay. Okay. This one, no, back, please. Yes. I'm not the technical part of man. I'm just a user of National Single Window. So, technical part, Dr. Eva, and Sugamata-san already explained, so I just explain for the user purpose. The trade facilitation means 3 components: simplification, harmonization, and standardization. Simplification is process of eliminating all unnecessary elements and duplicated in formalities, process, and procedure. Harmonization, arrangement of national procedure, operation, and documents with international convention, standard, and practice. Standardization, process of developing internationally agreed format for practice and procedure, documents, and information. That's already 3 persons explained to you. Oh, no. I'm sorry. What? 3 pages. This is single window image. Left side before. You electrical goods or document, you need 2 or 3 purpose, one purpose for trade, but 2 and 3 institutes. For example, a bank, custom office, guarantee office, traffic company. So the required element is different. So plural source management is required, used to be. But single window image, once document and electronic source is going to the single window, so automatically data is devised. That's a single window image. So reducing the mistake and operating hour, so reducing the making the competition of the trade. This is a world use national single windows model. So 2005 in about only 20 minutes economies in the world. And about 10 days going, 100 and more economies is using in the world as a national single window. So not so old concept. This is national single windows component. central national single window machine. People going to the machine, but company is many component is very large. Left side air cargo, right side is ocean going cargo. It includes airline, air cargo agent, freight carrier suppliers, consolidation people, warehouse, custom broker, import, export, and bank. And the left side, same thing, but different. Because ocean traffic have many long history. So broker or NVOCC, non-vessel operating carrier, including, but concept is same. Once going to the national single window machine, then automatically related to the related person. Japan national single window is called NACS. NACS means Nippon Automated Cargo and Port Consolidation System. NACS. What is Nippon? Do you know? Nippon is the name of actual name of my country. Japan is English name. Nippon is my name. So, example, national sports game, shout of entertainment in Japan. We also say, not say Japan, Japan, Nippon, Nippon, such kind of games. So NACS is so, I call it, sometimes called NACS, Nippon equal Japan. This is I'm sorry. This is a difference of NACS and another country. NACS is left side. Only one direction input and going to the one put. Some countries, oh no, I wouldn't say all countries. Duplicate input is required still, but output is one. So different system. So excellent of national single window merit to be left, and also now main country going to the left style. Next, NACS history. Left side air, right side sea. Air was begun to 1976, and ocean is begin to 1991. Why air first? Because air is required time. Ocean going cargo is not so required. It used to be. Now is very important. So 10 days interval, but concept is the same. And now it's same system, but a little bit different. NACS people say. This is NACS composition. used to be first will be the 5 program is there, but so combined 1 and still change to the evaluate the portion and to last October end the 6 demand is changed. Why we must change this kind of system? But because circumstances change, law or something. This is relating for NACS and National Single Window. Almost thinking why this kind of accident will happen. They are amazing. Why? Container terminal. As you know, vessel, container vessel is loading to the heavy container first, the bottom, and the light container to be top. So gravity can be achieved. If reversed, such kind of this kind of accident happened. Why heavy cargo on the top? Because on the container terminal, they calculated the loading plan and the loading system, the container and container planningly. But if the declaration was in the wrong, container terminal's effort is in the vain. Why declaration vain? Because shipper want to load cargo once. Container allowed only 16 kiloton, but if shipper can use load 22 kiloton and the declaration only 16 kiloton, that's a big amazing. So container terminal cannot do it. The protection is only one. Heavy penalty by company, by country. But system side also take another protection code. So this is protection cargo for weight station to the container terminal and the terminal to afloat and validation. Well, this kind of accident has happened. The law will be changed. So national single window to be revised. That's a history. This is a composed of the company, institute, many institutes. It's the same thing. Left side air, right side ocean. If the national single window system is revised, all people must be gathered and together with discuss what is inconvenient. So many troublesome, but to catch up the world, it's a necessary step. This is a this is a traditional transporting. Container arrived information and shippers, such kind of this time lag station. This is the efficiency inviting national single windows. In Japan case, the length of time required for import review procedure has been shortened. For 10 years, 1/3. This is 60 hours, nearly 2.5 days. Oh, I'm sorry. Color can be seen, so eliminate. Next. NACS system is introduced to Myanmar and Vietnam and going to be delivered by escape helps. This is okay. This is a governmental concern to keep national single window. The official institutes is there or not. The official institute, national institute, they said. This is a semi-national institute. This is no data. This is known. Japan is semi-official, but the content is the same. From that, apart from national single trade, the trade in the world, foreign trade in the world, from America to Asia, America to Europe, or something. For seeing the graph, left side years of 2000. The right side is 21.6. Cargo volume is growing up. Very difficult to say. East Asia to Europe. This is East Asia to America, USA. East Asia to Europe. Used to be twice, but now it's the same. Or European is more growing up. So interworld, but total volume is growing up. And finally, we talk to the efficiency by the nationwide. This is the day requirement from import cargo delivery arrival to the delivery time, the arrival time. Japan here, and I'm sorry, Bangladesh here. this is not the official record in not just for the data from Japanese think tank. And I wouldn't say short time is the only method to take efficiency. But also, it contains time lag. But I think why? It's because Bangladesh export is recently rapidly growing up, very good rapidly. So custom clearance is not catch up. So now is more shortened. But I would say Japanese national window service NAX system can be useful. No, only best way. Useful and one method to realize trade facilitation. So thank you very much for hearing. Don't know bad.
So ধন্যবাদ Mr. Kedwin. So right now, as to say that we are doing the trade, customs maybe is one of the main key organization from the National Board of Revenue. So what Mr. Kedwin gave us the insight regarding the national single window. Bangladesh government is taking initiative for this national single window under the World Bank. And this forum will enlighten us to have the experience from Japan to other countries to enrich us, particularly having some domain and the challenges they had, and what is the business challenges we do have, and how we can integrate with this national single window, so that what we had customs as 39% growth in the last year, as rightly identified Mr. Kedwin, we would like to grow as a nation. So we need to adopt this single window most effectively and efficiently. Thanks for the guest speakers and for all of the guest speakers and giving us the enlightenment regarding different topics. Right now, I would like to invite from our industry leaders, two of them. First of all, I would like to invite one of our key industry leader. He's our leader of our association as well. He was the ex-president of BCS, the Computer Shomiti, one of the organizing association from here. He was the president of Dhaka Chamber of Commerce and Industry. He's currently the director of WITSA, World Information of Technology Service Association. He's the High Commissioner of World Business Angel Forum, and he is also associated with so many other organizations. It's going to be too elaborate, and he's the chairman of a leading university in Daffodil University, International University of Bangladesh. So may I now invite Dr. Sabur Khan to give his small insights or some views about this summit. Thank you so much, Mr. Sabur Khan.
First of all, very good evening, and thank you very much. And I'm quite sure that a lot of distinguished guests is first time in our country. So welcome, and thank you very much for visiting us. And of course, the four of the distinguished guests, those who already presented your papers on e-commerce and in other area. And I'm quite sure this is one of the great time, because you know the last few days there was a rapid change in the whole world. You know that the Daraz is also bought by the Alibaba, and at the same time, you know, the Flipchart maybe, right? The one of the Indian companies bought by the there's a Walmart. So that means it's a revolution in the e-commerce scenario in the whole world. So I'm quite sure that Bangladesh, you know, there's 170 million people, and definitely at the strategical location, it is a very good position. And at the same time, you know, that our young generation, number of young generation that is below 40 is almost dominated the 60%. And I must say that that the few years back, our educational scenario is not very good. But now I think that our present government and of course the people of Bangladesh is also very much confident to send their young kids to the school, university, and college. So that's why the number of that is education, that literacy portion is going to be high day by day. But again, it's very bad luck because education system is a need for still follow the traditional education system. So today's the presentation, as I understood, is a lot of the from the academician. So and I love to share this one of the information also. Just 7 days back from our university, because I'm running a one private university. So it's a good opportunity for me because I also involved in the business at the same time. I'm also running a one private university. So in my university, I also introduced first time in the country Bachelor of E-Business. So I know I fought a lot of debate from the academician. There was no university in the country, those who also run these courses. So why this university took this initiative? But again, I'm lucky because a lot of the international universities, especially USA, UK, Europe, they already introduced this course. So that's why luckily I convinced to the academic council and all of our academicians, because as per this presentation, it's a crying need to get the real resources. Because if you are not getting the real resources, especially the young people, those who are coming from the university, I'm quite sure they will not able to catering, they will not able to catering to the service or e-business area. At the same time, I also need to express another my experience while I was in president of the Dhaka Chamber of Commerce. In 2013, I took one initiative to create the 2,000 new entrepreneurs in our country. And in that time, I also found that a lot of the challenge, because there was no ecosystem development for the startup, the venture capital company, angel investor, a lot of the factor we found that there is already lying. So anyway, after finishing my tenure, I took another initiative, and I'm lucky because I also able to establish in our university, first time in 2014, Bachelor of Entrepreneurship, which is now named as Bachelor of Innovation and Entrepreneurship. So these sorts of lot of new courses, and I saw the basis president is here. I think that while another basis president, Mr. Sarwar Alam, he was a very famous in the, especially the animation sector. So while he was the president of the basis, and now our present IT minister, Mr. Mustafa Jabbar, these two gentlemen, I personally invited them to our university, and also the industry leader, 27 industry leaders, to implement the multimedia and creative arts. Which is now renamed as Multimedia and Creative Technology, which is called MCT. This is the first time, if I'm not wrong, we introduced in the 2010 or 2011. So you will be happy and surprised because this is one of the subjects in our university. There is not a single student jobless. And not only that, all of this final year, that is those who already completed their 8th semester or 9th semester, everyone has got employment. And a lot of cases I found the student cannot able to complete their education because they got the fantastic job. So that's why from my limitation, I am trying to implement to the academic system. And I know that without academic system, without the good quality of the people, it will be simply impossible. So I don't like to prolong my speech. I saw that a lot of the industry leader is here. And please come forward because it is the responsibility of the industry leader also to let us inform that what education system need to transform. Because if the university is not following the industry trends, I'm quite sure we will not get the good people. Because again, I should say, plenty of young people, young graduates in our country. But please, I don't feel too shy. The right people is very few. Because the people are coming as a traditional education system. They are not cope up with the demand of the industry. So I hope that all of the presentation and all of the trends, especially the global trend, I saw the first presentation, the global supply chain. So you see, our faculty, our academicians still, they do not aware because supply chain, global chain, these sorts of blockchain, the big data, a lot of factors still they are not much aware because the education system need to be transformed as per the demand of the global standard. So thank you very much, as I'm sure that BCS is organizing with the help of Asia Pacific Council for Trade Facilitation and Electronic Business. So it's a very good forum. I hope that with this combination of efforts, please involve with the academician, because if you are not able to involve the academician, ultimately you will face the problem. So thank you very much. Wish all of you good luck.
Thank you, Subur Bhai, for your wonderful presentation and giving us a little bit about your vision, how you like to incorporate the industry demand with your with the education so that the students can be enriched and can have the experience while learning. Now, I'm not in my, first of all, I would like to introduce myself. My name is Mushfiqur Rahman. You can tell me Mushfiq. I'm not a professional anchor. I'm from this industry. I'm from BCS also. I'm now the Vice President Finance for BASIS, Bangladesh Association of Information and Services. So whatever the trade facilitation we are pitching here, so obviously software is one of the key factors which needs to be enacted. Now, for this, I would like to invite our present president, Mr. Syed Almas Kabir, to give a little bit about the software industry and how to do the trade facilitation, how our industry can be benefited, and how we can work together. Mr. Syed Almas Kabir.
Thank you very much. In the very outset, I would like to welcome all our foreign delegates, foreign friends, who have come all the way to Bangladesh, to Dhaka, and you have shared your knowledges and experience with us. So we are immensely grateful. So, well, in Bangladesh, as you know, that our current government is very, very keen, and they have a mandate to build a digital Bangladesh. So we have a vision for 2021, for the year 2021, that by 2021, we will have a nation which will be enabled in the digital technology. The lifestyles will change of the citizen, and the digital divide will be minimized. So this is the mandate that we have from the government, and we are very lucky, the industry people, we are very lucky that the government is very, very serious and very, very supportive of their policies and all other, incentives. And we are actually on the right track. I can proudly say that. The biggest challenge that we face, of course, is, as you have been hearing from our previous speaker, Mr. Sabur Khan, is the collaboration between the academia and the industry. So that is the biggest challenge. And I believe this challenge is everywhere, actually, in all the countries. So there has always been gap between education and training, knowledge and skill. So what we are trying to do from our association, from BASIS, is that we are talking to universities. We are talking to the authorities. University, we have a regulatory body. It's called the University Grants Commission. So we are talking to them, and we are trying to convince the universities to incorporate the current trending technologies, and we want to give the input from the industry. So luckily, you have just heard that the Daffodil University has introduced a few courses which are very, very new and unconventional. I'm happy to announce that 3 other universities have just reached out to us, and they have said that in their academic council, in their advisory board, they will be including us, the industry people, and they will be taking our inputs. So this is very, very necessary. In this area where the skill development is, I'm talking about the skill development, having the skilled personnel, human resources, you can be a very big help. I seek your participation, I seek your support, our foreign friends. Please share your experiences. Please help us how to create a skilled human resource for our country. Bangladesh has very good, very intelligent youth community, and they are working in the IT industry. Many people in Bangladesh, they do freelancing job, and they work from their home and earn in dollars, in US dollars. They work for other countries. So we have the capability, we have the skill. It's just that we need to update those skills, and we need to increase the number of the human resource. So this is one thing that I think our friends from Asia Pacific can really be helpful. I'm very happy that we are discussing about collaboration. We are discussing about this e-trade, e-business. This is absolutely necessary in this new age of doing business. You have heard that very recently, just 2 days back, one of our e-commerce site has been purchased by Alibaba. So this is a very big shift. And also, I am optimistic about it. This also means that there will be a very smooth trade between China and Bangladesh in e-commerce sector. So maybe from other countries, we can also have this kind of collaboration. I welcome all of you to come to Bangladesh more often and come and invest in Bangladesh, because and of course, when you go back to your country, please tell your friends that Bangladesh, number one, has the skilled human resource, the expertise. Number two is, of course, the salary is very attractive if you compare to other countries, other Asian countries, especially to Philippines or Vietnam. Bangladesh also has, the Bangladesh government also is offering many incentives for foreign investors. One example is you will automatically have a 10-year tax holiday. You can repatriate the 100% profit. Whatever profit you make, you can take back the entire profit if you want. So there are many other, the Bangladesh government is making 28 high-tech parks and software technology parks all around Bangladesh. So there are many of these incentives that are being given. So I would welcome all my foreign friends to please come and invest in Bangladesh. And I'm sure that you will not regret that. And please, when you go back home, please share this with your friends and colleagues. Once again, I thank BCS and Business Promotion Council, of course, Afact, to be our co-organizers, and bringing all of you, all of our friends under one roof, and just to give us this opportunity to share our experience and knowledge. So thank you again, and welcome once again to Bangladesh. Bye.
Thank you, Almaz Bhai. Before we go to our chief guest, may I now request Ms. Urachada from ETDA, because as a host, next time Thailand is hosting this summit, she's going to speak a little bit, few words with us, share his experience. Thank you.
Hi, my name is Surachada Ketprom, or you can call me Dao. I will keep this short and simple. So next year, the Afact will be hosted in Thailand, Afact 2019. And as you probably listened to all the speakers, and I really think that it's a time for Bangladesh, because you have young people, the e-commerce, e-trade facilitation has to go hand in hand. But all of this cannot be possible, or at least make the life of people in Bangladesh better without the working together of public and private sectors. All of this in all the countries, the government has to facilitate the private in order to make the cross-border e-commerce or also the trade facilitation go as simple as possible. And for the IT technology, you have the satellite that launching the e-commerce site that was bought by the Alibaba. So your chance was there. But only the collaboration of the government and the private sectors that will make it move forward as fast as possible. So next year, there will also be an E-Asia Award. So last year, E-Asia Award, there are also some project of Bangladesh that won the award. So I'm sure in 2019, Bangladesh will submit some project again for eAsia Award. And then we will let the whole world know about Bangladesh. So congratulations for all your success, and hopefully we see you, all of you next year in Thailand. Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Rachada, UN Effects representative. And thanks for highlighting Bangladesh. We wish to participate in upcoming events and wants to get more awards. Okay, now, as an industry, if we talk about basis, since beginning, we are getting support from a particular industry apart from our ICT industry. This is the Ministry of Commerce. So as a chief guest, I would like to invite Mr. Shafiqul Islam to deliver his speech. Sir, would you please come to the stage? Thank you. Mr. Would you please give him an applause?
Afact leaders, also Bangladesh Computer Society leaders, and BASIS leaders, all the delegates from Bangladesh, and also our foreign country friends. Ladies and gentlemen, good afternoon and assalamu alaikum. This is very, it's indeed my pleasure to be here. We enjoyed, we heard, we saw 4 good presentations, mostly technical things though. Even though I'm not a technical guy, I learned something, so thanks from the Ministry of Commerce and also the Business Promotion Council. I like to thank all the, presenters. And today, nowadays we live in a digital world. In every day we use a lot of, technology, new technology. It's a part of our life. And basically we live in a fiercely, with emerging new technologies. I mean, business being very competitive. And to stay competitive, you have to reduce your cost of doing business. And all these, e-commerce, e-business, e-trade, this, all sort of trade facilitations. Either you have to adjust yourself or you have to, reduce your, you will be out of business. That's the ground reality of the present day world, both domestic and as well as the international trade. So all the 2 presentations were made on national single window, the last 2 presentations. And also you talked about a lot of paperless, cross-border paperless trade resolution adopted by the United Nations Economic and Social Commission for the Asia and Pacific. I like to update you the Bangladesh position as a government officials. My wing was very much involved with the very starting process of the UN resolution, UN escape resolution for cross-border paperless trade. Actually, the process started back in 2012. 2 working groups were formed, one on legal issues and other on framing the agreement. Ultimately, in 2015, the resolution was adopted, and Bangladesh is the first country to sign the agreement. Our Commerce Minister, Mr. Tufail Ahmed, is a very business promoter, business advocate, and he flew to Bangkok in September, and he was the first guy to sign. Bangladesh was the first signatory of the cross-border paperless trade agreement among the Asia Pacific countries. So as per the resolution, I mean the rules of the agreement, 5 countries among the Asia Pacific, there are 53 Asia Pacific countries, and to put into effect of this agreement, you need signature as well as ratification of the 5 signatory countries. Just 5 signatory countries has been, I mean the minimum requirement has been completed. Now it will put into effect, I mean it will be implemented. and there would be a steering committee. We are hoping and looking forward to have a steering committee to be formed by the UNSCAP and each ratified country will send a top officials there in the steering committee. And about the one of the concept of cross-border paperless trade is to have a national single window. That's very important actually, because you need to harmonize among all the different operator, interoperability. And unfortunately, Bangladesh, yet to implement the national single window, even though many Asia-Pacific countries, they have already, implemented NSW. Bangladesh, we also trying, the initiative started some 4 or 5 years ago, and just few months ago, maybe 3 or 4 months ago, the DPP, Development Project Proposal on National Single Window, it was approved by the ECNEC. Our Honorable Prime Minister, she approved it. It is being implemented by the NBR, National Board of Revenue, because most of the things of the national single window basically related to customs and custom procedure, custom clearance issues. Even though Commerce Ministry is a important part of that, World Bank is financing the project director, and everything has been already appointed. Now we can hope that very soon, within few years, we can have a national single window in Bangladesh. So, I mean, things will improve in Bangladesh. Now, as a government officials, our present government Vision 2021, as the basis president has already mentioned, Vision 2021, one important concept of Vision 2021 is to make Bangladesh a digital Bangladesh. The ICT, national ICT policy was adopted by this government back in 2009, and there is more than 3,000 specific action plans, both short term, medium term, and long term. This is all being implemented, gradually. It's not that we have already implemented all that, but we are in the process. We may have lacking, but the government has the efforts and the right guidance and policy. A lot of things are happening. Just few days ago, our secondary school certificate result was published. So it was published. Everybody went to the internet. You have to see the internet. Otherwise, you can't have your result even. So it's a part of life in Bangladesh. We have to go a long way to do that. To make it digital, to really help BASIS and BCS. These are the two associations. They are really playing a big role to help implement the digital Bangladesh, and also our ICT ministry, and also from the Ministry of Commerce part, Business Promotion Council. It's under the Ministry of Commerce. So they have 6 Business Promotion Council, 1 on ICT related Business Promotion Council. So they are trying to they are basically it's some sort of it's a facilitated organization. Try to help the private organization, business associations to implement, ICT-based businesses, e-commerce and e-business. So e-commerce is it's an international. The last WTO ministerial, you all are aware that in Buenos Aires ministerial, no significant progress was made. It was in some sense, it was some sort of failure, except that you may be aware that only one development was happened. It was on e-commerce. There was among the WTO members, there has been some progress, and also trade facilitation agreement, adopted in the last ministerial conference. So Bangladesh government and all citizens of the government, we are trying our best to make really digital Bangladesh, and all the digital, because digital Bangladesh is a long concept, broader concept, and one special thing is e-business or e-commerce and cross-border paperless trade. So we are trying our best. We have to put our, we get our effort to implement the vision, greater vision of the government, and to make Bangladesh really
digital Bangladesh and developed country by 2041. That's the vision of the government. So I like to thank all the organizers, for, especially the foreign delegates, for taking all the travel to visit Bangladesh and contributing to this summit. And I just request to, to in the future event to make it in a broader, so that broader audiences can be, present, and try to make it more really effective and result oriented. Thank you so much.
Thank you, sir. Honorable Mr. Shafiqul Islam, Additional Secretary, Ministry of Commerce, Government of Republic of Bangladesh. We are almost going to close our session. So I would like to give you a small announcement. Just after our sessions, we have a musical show sponsored by Flora Bank. It's a folk live musical show. Hope our foreign delegates and the local ones which we are present will be enjoying that one. At the same time, give us 15 to 20 minutes time for the preparation. And we have got we'd like to invite you for some sort of drinks, which is just besides this hall. Please enjoy that. In between that, after this one, we'll have a photo sessions. We'll be inviting all the foreign delegates to join with us in this particular photo sessions. Okay. Now, for the closure of this today's session, I would like to invite, for the vote of thanks, Mr. Shohidul Munir, convener of this summit. I know he has taken a lot of pain. Munir Bhai, would you please come, Shohidul Munir Bhai? Would you please give him a big round of applause? Here, give him a round of applause for the vote of thanks.
Thank you, everybody. Basically, every foreign delegates, they are taking a big headache and come from long away here. So first of all, I thanks to everybody from my heart that last 3 days we are continue this event. So dear distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, very good evening. First of all, I express heartiest gratitude to scholar participant attending at E-Business Summit and Afact 2018. Their diligent participation, suggestion, and advice have made this program glamorous and fruitful. We are especially thankful to sponsor of this event, Flora Bank, Microsoft, D-Money, Teletalk, Bangladesh Submarine Cable Company Limited, Bangladesh Post Office, Bangladesh Communication Satellite Services Limited, and Russian Information Technology Export. It was impossible for us to make this event successful with their generous support. I also express sincere thanks to the organizer of this 3-day event, Afact, BCS, IBPC, and BASIS. We hope this kind of event will take place more frequently in Bangladesh and surrounding countries to facilitating e-trade and e-business to strengthening among the Afact economy. Thank you all again. Thank you.
সামনে দিবেন চেয়ারের পিছনে দাঁড়াবে ওই জায়গা চেয়ারের আরো সামনে দিন আরো সামনে দিন আরো সামনে ব্যাস একটা রো দেন একটা রো দুটো রো দরকার একটা রো পোডিয়াম সরাই আরো পিছনে দেন দিয়ে দেখুন Okay, we are ready. May I request the chief guest and all the foreign delegates could come to the stage. We would like to have some sweet memory with you. Keep this memory alive. Special guests and all the foreign delegates to come to the stage. We would like to have a photo session. Also the Afact organizing committee members, including the BCS basis president. Yeah. Ma'am, would you please sit down? Yeah, মাঝখানে বসেন। বলো, chief guest chief guest কই? আছে আমি বসে রাখেন আপনি বসায় দেন। ছবিটা তুলে নিই তারপর শেষ। ছবিটা তুলে নিই। You got my compliment. Thank you. Yeah. Sorry. So, একটু- may I invite you for a small break in the for the liquor session তো বলবো না। Please, yeah, please enjoy your drinks. First of all, then we'll have the musical show, and after that, we'll serve the dinner. Okay.
Eight. Okay.
Okay, so we are joining the young club. 15 to 30 or 30 to 40, I don't know. 30. That's my thought. Thank you so much. Yeah. You are from?
I think
Okay, great.
the most youngest one, right?
Yeah, youngest one.
Yeah.
Should be.
I think so. I don't know your age.
Should not ask.
I'll not ask.
Should not
I'll,
ask.
I'll not
Just
ask you
consider
that.
she's 16. That's it.
Wow.
You're from? Thailand. Okay, great.
You're too kind.
Yeah, I just start করার আগে this Bangladesh night, which is a musical event, is sponsored by one of our member, Flora Bank Limited.
Dinner will be served on the table.
And the dinner will be served on your respective table.
Congratulations. Congratulations and really nice effort.
Hello. Peter, come on. Monitor, come on. হ্যালো ভাইয়া, ওই প্যাডের ব্যালেন্সটা ফুল টাইট হয়ে আছে, হ্যাঁ, মানে হাই পার্ট এবং মিড পার্টটা মেবি একটু বেশি। হ্যাঁ, এটা পারফেক্ট, এটা পারফেক্ট। জাস্ট আপনি আমাদের 4টা মনিটরে দিয়ে দেন প্যাডটা, 4টা মনিটর থাকবে একটু একটু করে। হ্যাঁ হ্যাঁ, আচ্ছা একটু লিড গিটারটা দেন দেখি। লিড গিটারটা না না দাদা, আপনি ওই সাইড থেকে নেন। লিড গিটারটা ভাইয়া। ওই সাইডে ওটা ভালো ছিল, কারণ এটা সে নড়াচড়া করবে তো, এটা ফিটবোর্ডে লাগবে। ওই সাইডে কিন্তু ভালো ছিল। আচ্ছা, ওই অ্যাকোস্টিক গিটারটা একটু কমবে, হ্যাঁ, আর ভয়েসটা একটু দেখেন, মেন ভয়েসটা একটু কমবে, একটু কমবে অ্যাকোস্টিক গিটারটা। মেন ভয়েসটা দেখেন।
Voice. Hello, check 1 2. All right. Check 1 2. Hello. Hello. Check 1 2. All right. Okay. A little more reverb. It's reverb. Hello. Check 1. Check. Check 1 2. Check 1 2. I like the way your sparkling urines lay.
ভয়েসটা হালকা রিভার্ব লাগবে।
Check 1, check, hello.
আর ওই বাম সাইডের মনিটরে বরাবর যেটা এই অ্যাকোস্টিকটা কমবে একটু।
অ্যাকোস্টিক একটু দেব?
হ্যাঁ, যে আমার বাম সাইডে যে মনিটরটা ওটা কমবে, অ্যাকোস্টিকটা কমবে।
হ্যাঁ, থাকবে না, ওকে।
আচ্ছা, ওই লিড গিটারটা,
হ্যাঁ লিডটা একটু দেখি, লিডটা দেখেন।
বাম সাইডে দুটো মনিটর দিয়ে দেন।
4 হ্যাঁ,
সামনে মনিটর
3 হ্যাঁ,
কমবে। 4 নম্বর মনিটরে লিডটা কমবে, আর 3 নম্বর মনিটর দিবেন।
হ্যাঁ,
3 4 লিড গিটারটা। ওই 3 নম্বর মনিটরও দিয়ান, 4 নম্বর একটু কমে 3 নম্বর একটু দিয়ান। 4 নম্বর মনিটর একটু কমবে লিডটা।
হ্যাঁ হ্যাঁ, কমাইছে, অনেকটাই কমাইছে।
what a woman can do to your soul. She can take you in any way if you don't already know how to go. And I've got a peaceful, easy feeling, and I know you won't let me down, 'cause I'm already standing on the ground. I like the way your sparkling urine blades against your skin so brown. I wanna sleep with you in the desert tonight, with the brilliant stars all around. I've got a peaceful, easy feeling, and I know you won't let me down, 'cause I'm already standing. Yes, I'm all. All right, thank you, thank you.
ইলেকট্রিক গিরাটা একটু কমে গেছে না মনিটরে একটু বাড়বে প্লিজ ইলেকট্রিক গিরাটা একটু মনিটরে বাড়বে
Dear audience, our dinner will be open after 5 minutes. Please enjoy our dinner. Thank you.
পিছনেরটা একটু দিয়ে না একটু রিভার্ব ভয়েস
Stop me when I'm passing by.
ice cream man stop me when I'm passing by. You seen them all my flavors, the guaranteed to satisfy. I usually pass by just about 11 o'clock. I usually pass by just about 11 o'clock. If you let me cruise one time, baby, you'll be my regular stop. Alright, dog? I got put the bananas and Dixie cups, all flavors and push-ups. I'm the right thing, stop me when I'm passing by. You see, them all my flavors are guaranteed to satisfy. I'm the ice cream man, stop me when I'm passing by. I'm the ice cream man, stop me when I'm passing by. You see, them all my flavors are guaranteed to satisfy. All right, boys, let's go. Got fruit and bananas and big sea cups, all flavors and push-ups. I'm the ice cream man, stop me when I'm passing by. You see, know all my flavors are guaranteed to satisfy. I'm the ice cream man, stop me when I'm passing by. I'm the ice cream man, stop me when I'm passing by. You see, them all my flavors are guaranteed to satisfy. I tell you what I have. I got fruit and bananas and big tea cups, all flavors and push-ups. I'm the ice All right. Thank you, thank you. Let's do a nice slow number. I said, yes, you look wonderful tonight. We go to a party, everyone turns to see this beautiful lady walking along with me. And then she asked me, do you feel alright? I said, yes, I feel wonderful tonight. I feel wonderful because I see the love light in your eyes and the wonder of it all, that I just don't realize how much I love you. It's time to go home now. I've got an aching head. I give her the car keys. She helps me to bed. And then I tell her, as I turn off the lights, I said, my darling, you were wonderful tonight. I feel wonderful because I see the love light in your eyes and the wonder of it all, that I just don't realize how much I love you. Thank you. Thank you. I would like to take this opportunity to thank Amra, Shumunba especially, and Madam Nabila, is it right? Okay. Thanking you all for inviting us here to play this music. And I'm really enjoying myself. I hope you people, gentlemen and ladies, you're enjoying my music also. If so, this is a song which I really love, and it'll remember you of your house. It'll remind you of your house. This is called Country Road. Almost heaven, West Virginia, Bluish Mountains, Shenandoah River. Life is old there, older than the trees, younger down the mountains, blowing like a breeze. Country road, take me home to the place I belong. West Virginia, mountain mama, take me home. Country road, all my memories gather round her. A miner's lady, stranger to the water, dark and dusty, painted on the sky. Mystery days, the moonshine, teardrop in my eyes. Country road, take me home to the place I belong. West Virginia, mountain mama, take me home. Country road, I hear her voice in the morning now she calls me. Radio reminds me of my home far away. Driving down the road I get a feeling that I should have been home yesterday. Yesterday, country road, take me home to the place I belong. West Virginia, mountain mama, take me home. Country road, take her to stop. Country road, take me home to the place I belong. West Virginia, mountain mama, take me home. Country road. Thank you, thank you. Okay, now we're going to give a number from Elvis Presley, all right? May his soul rest in peace. Well, it's one for the money, two for the show, three for the leather. Well, go cat, go wild dog. Yeah, but my blues away shoe. Now you can do anything, honey, leave my blues away shoe. You knock me down, spit in my face, scatter my name all over the place. Do anything you wanna do, honey, I say lay off my shoes. Well, don't you stand by my blues away shoe. Now you can do anything, honey, lay off my blues away shoe. All right, boy. Blue, 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 blues away shoes. Had a blue, 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 blues away shoes. A blue, 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 blues away shoes. Blue, 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 blues away shoes. So you can do anything, honey, lay up my blues away shoes. All right, boys. One for the money, two for the show, three for the leather. Well, go cat, go wild, don't you? Yeah, but my blues away shoes. My blues away shoe. You can knock me down, spit in my face, Got my name all over the place. Do anything you wanna do. Honey, I say lay off my shoes, why don't you? I get on my blues with shoes. Now you can do anything, honey, lay off my blues with shoes. Thank you. Thank you. Lord, I'm one, Lord, I'm two, oh Lord, I'm three, Lord, I'm four, Lord, I'm 500 miles away from home. Lord, I'm one, Lord, I'm two, Lord, I'm three, Lord, I'm four, Lord, I'm 500 miles away from home. If you miss the train I'm on, you will know that I have gone. You can hear the whistle blow 500 miles, 500 miles, 500 miles, 100 miles, 100 miles. You can hear the whistle blow 100 miles. Make it stop. I tried in another language, okay? This is India. जब कोई बात बिखर जाए, जब कोई मुश्किल पड़ जाए, तुम देना साथ मेरा है हमनवा। ना कोई है, ना कोई था, ये जिंदगी में तेरे सिवा। Lord, I'm one, Lord, I'm two, Lord, I'm three, Lord, I'm four, Lord, I'm 500 miles away from home. If you miss the train I'm on, you will know that I have gone. You can hear the whistle blow 500 miles. Not a shirt on my back, I've not a penny to my name. Oh Lord, I can't go back home this away. This away, this away, this away, Lord, this away. Lord, I can't go back home this away. I tried in Bengali, alright? Ami beche achi, naki more giyechi. She to ektukhani khoj nilo na. যা ছিল আমার কাছে আমি সব দিয়ে দিয়েছি, সে তো একটুখানি মন দিল না। Lord, I'm one, Lord, I'm two, Lord, I'm three, Lord, I'm four, Lord, I'm 500 miles away from home. Thank you very, very much. Thank you. And ladies and gentlemen, this song is one of my very favorite songs because we know we are all knocking on heaven's door. It's for you. Mama takes his bath from me. I can't use it anymore. It's getting dark, too dark to see, and feel like I'm knocking on heaven's door. Knocking on heaven's door. I'm knocking on heaven's door. I'm knocking on heaven's door. We are all are knocking on heaven's door. Mama put my guns on the ground. I can't shoot them anymore. The cold black clouds coming down. I feel like I'm knocking on heaven's door. knocking on heaven. knock, knocking on heaven's door. I knock, knock, knocking on heaven's door. Yeah, yeah. Lead to Bala then. Lead. I'm knock, knock, knocking on heaven's door. I'm knock, knock, knocking on heaven's door. I'm knock, knock, knocking on heaven's door. Yeah, yeah. My friends will say I'm crazy for the silly things I do. Maybe this all started since the day I first saw you. Now I don't care if the sun don't shine, let it rain all day long. As long as I've got you beside me, baby, I'm gonna sing this song. I'm crazy, baby, crazy for you. I said I'm crazy for you. Don't say I'm crazy for the silly things I do. Maybe this all started since the day I first saw you.